always flips. Okay, welcome in everybody. We are going to be working on a beanie today. So if you're interested in that, that's what we'll be doing. I'm trying to get onto the computer. Okay. We're starting a completely brand new project. Let's see. I want some black yarn. I'm trying to get it all situated. I need to pull up the chat just a little bit. All right, put on my gloves. Glove, glove, glove. I ain't got nobody hook out or nothing. Okay, I am Doe of Doe's Craft Day. Hey friend, how are you? I am done with the panels, but I want to make a video for it, so that's the only reason why I don't have it on live. I want to finish it for content, so I'll have that posted soon. I'm down to like only 3 projects left for handmade, so it should get done this week. I'm sorry to hear that. I hope it's on the I hope things are getting better because it's been crazy over here too. I definitely don't does not plan on wrapping this head up with my hands. I forgot to pull out my hook. Set it over there. Oh, so this loom doesn't have a starter peg or a stop peg. So you need a something to go right there to keep you from messing up. And I just lost my I don't know how I just lost it that fast. It flicked up when I was trying to get it out of the thing. Well, I guess I won't be able to use it today. But no, I got another room with a stitch marker on it. Oh, how I flip that stitch marker like that? That's annoying. I had a stitch mark at the tip of my finger and I flipped it somewhere. And now I can't. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that. It's one on here, y'all. I feel so silly. But I was looking for, it was another orange one I was looking at. I hope he's doing better. I'm trying to untangle this first before I move on because this is just going to get in the way and get annoying. Oh, okay. Yeah, better. Is she okay? Um, it's a lot. It sounds like a lot of stress making y'all go through it. Oh, this yarn feels a little scruffy. I don't know how I'm feeling about that. I thought about using this yarn. That don't feel much different to me. Maybe. I'm sorry, friend. I'm thinking I might use this one. Let's use this one. I don't like the way this one feels. And I'm pretty sure it's red heart. Sometimes that's needed too. Venting is definitely needed. I'm getting ready to start counseling this week, so that's something interesting. I start on Tuesday. I'm making a hat. Somebody wanted me to make it's a dreadlock slouchy. They wanted me to make a dreadlock slouchy and make it have the opening on it so his dreads can hang outside of his hat. So I wanted to go ahead and get started on that, especially since it's looming. Because I need to start on the boys' blankets soon, and I would really like to do that very soon. Usually this needle goes right down. Oh. Yeah, it's like mine's been long overdue. That feel weird too. I'ma leave it. I'm not gonna change the yarn. That one felt a little bit rough too, but it feels softer. So I'm just gonna not overthink it. And then it's just like with locks and stuff, the head's gotta be so big, and that's a whole nother thing. Uh-oh, got two that time. I would do a crochet cast on crochet chain. No. Crap. I would do a crochet chain cast on, but I don't need to because I'm gonna bring the brim up. Okay, let's try to see if we can do this again. Look now. I guess because I'm normally used to having this in my lap, so it's taking me a little bit time to get used to it. No, I've never made one. Well, I've made a dread slouchy before, but I've never like made the opening, have it open. But it's gonna be very similar to like a regular hat. It's just gonna be very long, and the top part of it is open. That's all. That's the only difference. Oh, I like that. That's a good idea. I need to go buy me some. That's an awesome idea. Thank you. All right. Let me grab me some more yarn until this loosens up some more. Oh, I'm not supposed to knit off on this one, this first peg right here, because I already wrapped it. I mean, I already knit off earlier when I started that round. And I feel like this is going to be a lot less stressful. Oh, that's going to be nice. I need to get to, like, I can't wait till I'm done making custom stuff for right now because I want to make plushies, loom knit plushies. Well, I want to start back making them. And I got a couple events I want to sign up for. I probably need to sign up for one of them tomorrow. I signed up for another one, but they never got back to me, and I'm not gonna hassle anybody to take my money, because that's essentially what it is. So I said I was gonna start back doing events this year, but I gotta figure out how to be proactive for my headaches and stuff. I haven't done an event in, I think it's been over a year. My hands are shaking today. I need to, I'm trying to find a relaxed position to do this in. So I think I'm gonna be able to start going live on Wednesday nights. I mean Wednesday. Sometime I gotta figure it out because it's gonna be interesting. I'm trying to find another day for me to go live. And I usually go into work on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. So I'm trying to figure out to go live like the day before I don't go to work. I don't know. So yesterday, well, this week, I've been feeling bad this week. Like I've had migraines, my arthritis has been flaring up and everything, and it's mostly due to like the weather being so cold. So I had to like readjust my schedule. And Friday I normally go live on the other app, and I normally do here on Saturday nights. And so I moved the Friday one to yesterday afternoon, and I was like, I'm just gonna move the YouTube one to this afternoon on today. Like I didn't even make it out of bed till because my neck was hurting from being out in the cold last night, so I barely made it in today because it's still kind of hurting, but it was hurting really bad last night. Like the pain right now is like a 3 or 4, but last night it was like a 7 or 8. So I didn't get much sleep, and I didn't like get out of the bed till like I think it was 1 o'clock today. Like I've been getting out of bed like really late because of that. So yeah, I had to move stuff around. But I think as soon as this weather starts to cool off, I'll be better off. I won't be like a lot better off, but I'll be better off than it being cold. I just need it to be just a little bit warmer. I need it to be spring. I need it to be like constantly 65, 75 degrees outside. And then the shed doesn't have any insulation too. So that's like the major thing. It doesn't have any insulation, so while I'm out here working, it has to I have to keep the temperature good, and I can't really keep it stabilized at night. Okay. I don't know why I'm pulling out of there. Told y'all I just had to get in the groove. Mm. I hope this the blue that he wants, because he didn't say which blue. Maybe I'll do Sunday, Sunday afternoons from now on. We'll see. That'll work in. Just can't be late. That yarn's starting to be in the way. Uh-oh. Apparently I don't have the grip on it good. Now I started slipping out my hand. Once it happened one time, it's gonna happen multiple times. about the only time I like pushing down stitches on the round. Trying to see if there are any more people in here. And I will be changing colors eventually. I'm just not gonna do it right now for the brim, but we'll be doing like a navy blue. I don't think he'll want a royal. It's kind of like almost stark contrast. I'm gonna set this one right here. So I do. I don't measure my brim. I just make it, see if it connect in the middle, and then I go from there. So I usually like the brim if it when it connects in the middle. So um, I'm pretty sure it's 3/8 because I think I recently looked it up. And yes, it's number 4. My bad, I ain't mean to drop that down. Yeah, I like mine. I typically go with KB looms for that reason. Is they have a smaller gauge. No problem at all. Cause I have another loom. Hold on just a second. I got one that does actually tell me the gauge on the bottom, and I think they're very close in similarity. Cause this one says 3/8 gauge, and they're pretty close in the the spacing. So yeah, I'm very certain it's 3/8. That one, the mint was a baby knit loom kit, and this just came in a regular round knit loom, so they don't always have the gauges on them. Yeah, knitting board is also known as KB. Knitting board, and if you get wide gauge loom, Michaels, loops, and threads, but mostly anything knitting board. And I typically do not like looms from Walmart. So thank you, Robin. But yeah, I typically do not like looms from Walmart. I tend back in the day I used to break those a lot. So yeah. But if you get a wrapping tool, the pen that I'm using to wrap the pegs around, you'll have the issue less. But everybody's different too, because some people don't like. Very few people I've noticed don't like the pen, but most people like the pen. I can knit traditionally too. I don't do it as often. This year I said I'm gonna do it more, but I mostly loom knit. I got a project that's been sitting on the needles for about 6 months, 6 to 8 months. I crochet too, in my spare. Well, I mostly like these days. It's mostly crochet, and that's mostly because that's what everybody asks for. They ask for a looming every once in a while, but most of the time since July of last year, I've been crocheting for the most part. Like I crochet more than I loom knit, even though most of my videos, well, long form videos are mostly loom knit, I guess. But looming can be easier on the hand if you're using this stitch like 90% of the time. Because other stitches you have to manipulate with your hands and they can be so. Who in the world is calling me? No, that's a no no. Oh shit! Uh, I know she didn't know. She doesn't know. So I just have to call her back later because she called me back the other day and I was not feeling well. can't wait to make this sweater. I got an idea for. I know that much. I see it's better to knit off from this side. It's better on my hands. So I'm having to reach towards the top because it's so tall. And so I want to put out there because I know y'all may see my hands shaking. I have overactive wrist and arthritis in my hands, so you know I just wing it. It's also the reason for the compression gloves. Yesterday, they was acting up yesterday too. But yesterday I was doing a lot of different stitches. Today I'm just doing E-stitch, so I'm trying to like, this is kind of like me taking a break. And this is like 80 some pegs for those of you who may not have this loom and you want to make um 80 pegs and you want to make the a hat like an extra large hat, it'll be like 80 pegs or 80 stitches. Hey, I'm doing pretty good. How you doing? That's so funny. When will you change? That's good. You're doing all right. I'm just trying to get some stuff done. Oh. Hi, Uruguay. Welcome, welcome. Hi, Purple Crochet. How are you doing? Yeah, I'm just trying to get. I did finish the panels. I haven't sewn them together. I finished the panels with the red and the variegated burgundy color. But I want to do a video of closing it up and all that stuff. So I'm gonna wait to post it. That's good. You're doing fine, Fabi. I need for the weather to warm up because it's making posted content hard or difficult for me per se. I don't like the the cold. I can deal with it for a little while, but I can't stand the heat, so I'd rather it be um, cold than hot. And I left my drink in the house, so there's that. I had a drink fixed for live. I try to keep drink water. I need to get a second phone so I could text somebody. Can you bring my drink? And I'm so serious, y'all. I technically have a second phone. What did I do with it? I'm gonna have to start making sure it stay charged and near me. Excuse me, I'm sorry. Then I'm gonna get comfortable and start having a whole conversation while I'm on live. That song stuck in my head. I'm trying not to sing it. And once I make the brim part, I switch over to the I'll change colors. But I want the brim to be all black. And I really don't like changing colors, so I'm gonna keep that at a minimum. Awesome. I don't know why I haven't made any scarves. this year really. I made a cow. I just really haven't had a whole lot of time to make like more stuff like hats and scarves. And that would have been a good time to make them right now. And I don't know, maybe part of me just keep thinking about when your spring gonna roll in here fast. I feel like spring gonna roll in here like it's late for a party. But I'm gonna welcome it because I need to start my garden. And then I'm like, well, if I go ahead and keep just making them, I'll just have them stocked up for when the winter time comes. So again, and I need to make some head and scarf sets because I got a lot of beanies back there, and I think if I make a scarf to go with it, you know, I'll be willing to post it. Right, agreed. I be letting my mind play tricks on me. My mind be overthinking stuff, and I just be like, "Yep." I guess I be thinking about it and more so for about content too. So that's the other thing. I'm like, is it still time to be posting hats and scarves? I'm always thinking about content, almost 24/7. I'm trying to get away from that though. I keep driving my wheel onto my ring light stand. You find, ah, you got to get you some rest. I tried to enjoy my rest this week, but I wasn't fully able to. But I've been up to like 3 o'clock every morning, almost every day this week, and not out of the bed till 1 o'clock. So I'm just like, maybe my sleep schedule is off. So I gotta fix that. Then I'm gonna take some melatonin in the night. Then I gotta go to work tomorrow, so at an elementary school. So I definitely need to get back on the right schedule. Yeah, I, that sounds like a better schedule. But I don't like y'all. I'm not a early morning person, so I couldn't even get up in between 3 and 5, because I'll be like the if I woke up from my sleep and it was like 3 o'clock, I was like, that's disrespectful. And I go back to sleep. Hi, Storm Fox. I'm making a beanie. I'm making a slouchy dread beanie. I wake up and I look at if I set two alarm. I mean, I set an alarm clock this morning too, and I just got to smacked it off. I didn't even snooze it, and now I'm just like, and any time before 10 o'clock, 9 or 10 o'clock is disrespectful to me. I am not an early morning person, but um I like staying up late. But I lately, because I'm older, I feel guilty for staying up late, because then I'm just like I'm not functioning during the day, but I'm so functional at night. And I'll lay in bed and I'm just like I should be sleep. I should be sleeping. I should be sleep like for hours on end. And then I gotta start thinking about all the time that I'm wasting by laying down, and it's like the time is just rolling away. Yes, I haven't like made adult socks. I've made like baby booties more so. So yeah, I said I was gonna try to make some adult socks this year too, since I've been making baby booties for so long. I did, of course, I like making them more because they work up faster than I know an adult sock would. But I need to branch out and stop doing stuff it because it'll take too long to do it. That's really what the problem is. Just me, like, oh my god, it's gonna take forever. Cause with the socks, a pair of socks takes me, and this because I normally work slow. Like a whole pair takes me like 2.5 hours or so. I typically use um number 4 yarn, but I've been using that acrylic, and I hate making socks with acrylic. There, it's really best to use polyester or cotton to make socks. So that's why I'm really polyester more so than cotton, because on the loom the stitches are going to get tight, and so the polyester give you a lot more give. So I prefer using polyester yarn for socks, but I mostly use acrylic. And then maybe some yarn that's softer, maybe that'll work. But I mostly have red hearts, so that's another thing why I'm probably more um, negative about acrylic yarn. So really, just anything soft or stretchy is better. Thank you, full time crochet. I was supposed to be making some Oscar the Grouch socks, and I just haven't gotten around to it either. And that's polyester and sesame. It's that Sesame Street yarn that's polyester. Are you saying it's for Tom? I hate that we're nowhere near the middle. I gotta remember not to bounce on the table. No bouncy bouncy on the table. It's a little warm in here. I need to cut one of these heaters off. Which one is the hottest? Put this on. And knowing me, I'll be cutting it back on in like 30 seconds. Hey, Sifting Some Soul, how are you? I think I'm gonna cut it back on and put the other one down on low. Maybe that'll help. Because I don't want. That's good. You're doing good. I'm doing pretty good. I'm trying to roll this out before it gets too warm. And I got the hood part and to hide the strands left on the hoodie. I'm working on my hoodie too. Yes, I'm making a hat. This is gonna be like a really long dread slouchy with the top part open so they can hang their dreads out. It is Sherry. There are some videos because I go through that too, but like at this right now I haven't even like felt like fixing it, and I know exactly what you're talking about. There are some videos on YouTube that show you how to fix. It's called like the ladder effect. So if you go on there and say, look on YouTube and ask it how to fix the ladder effect, because mine is on here too. It's definitely in there. But right now, I'm just trying to be okay with it. And I think sometime this week I'll try to look up how to fix it. For me, it's just more so like changing up patterns, like the way I do stuff, habits, more so than patterns. The only way other way I can think of getting rid of that is to do a flat panel and then match your stitch it closed. But you'll lose some of the inches in the hat or some of the width. I don't know if it'll be an inch or so. I can't remember. No problem at all. It's chilly over here. I know what to do. Cut the thermostat down some, darling. I thought YouTube Zen played more videos than this. I'm not listening to the sound. I'm just really watching the screen because there's a POV to it too. But it just keeps replaying like the same old 3 or 4 videos for hours on end. I'm making a dread slouchy. Hopefully I'll be changing color soon, 'cause I don't like sitting up looking at the solid color the whole time. It is very unappeasing. And then it's black. But they X for blue and black. I thought about using royal blue, but I just feel like it's very, very contrasty. I'm gonna try to do it in random um, stripes. Oh, I forgot to make sure my phone is charging. Let me check my charger. I'm in my battery. I sure forgot all about that. What did I do with my charger? I have no idea. I think I remember. It's in that bag. I look, I get it, Bernice. I get it. I understand. I crochet too, and I use the knitting needles. But this is more easier on my hands. Y'all, give me just a sec. I need to put my phone on the charger. But I've been loom knitting way longer than I've been crocheting and knitting on the needles longer than I've been loom knitting. I've been crocheting for about 2.5 years, and it's my battery pack. And these days, I crochet more than I loom knit. So I bet y'all, if y'all hear a lot of noise, I'm trying to get this charger in here real quick. So I don't want to lose. Let's see how much charge I'm getting. Okay, we're at pretty good standing. Yeah, yeah. So I kind of when I want to break, I take a break and I loom knit. But you gotta be mostly if you do loom knitting besides crocheting, you have to mostly do E-stitch if you're trying to get like a break on your hand. I mean with your hands. But then I'm like, you know, I'm ready to get back into it. So I just changed them out. I do mostly loom knitting on live though, but I'm trying to incorporate some crocheting into my lives, so we'll see how that works out. Cause that's mostly what I'm doing outside of live. Need to get that cord out the way. What I'm trying to accomplish now with crochet is to crochet without looking. Cause if I can just watch TV without getting them glasses, we'll be all right. Thank you. You too, Bernice. I appreciate you for coming in. Uh oh, my bad. Trying to avoid hitting the thing and I hit it anyway. My hands seem to be feeling a little skippy right now. I'm gonna skip legs. strawberries. During this time of day, I don't really hear trains, but I hear them a lot during the evening when we're live. So that's weird. So you'd rather keep people awake during the evening than do all your routes during the afternoon. Excuse me. It's a hollowed out clicking office pen. Let's see. I got an extra one over here. I just ain't got the thing on it. It's the same one, it just don't have the little end on it. But yeah. You can also use a straw, so you don't have to necessarily use that. Some people use straws, but I like the pen, especially for small gauge, because it can go in between the grooves more. Let me pull out my little work on my things here. Not work on my things. I don't know why I chose to say that. Okay, this is an actual loom knitting pen by a boy, but I don't feel like it's necessarily worth it. I'm trying to find my other wrapping tools, but apparently I can't find it. This one kind of goes in the groove kind of well. This one not so much. It'll go over it, but not per se in the groove. So I was just pointing it out because sometimes people say use straws, but it'll work great with wide gauge looms, but it's more difficult to use with the smaller gauge. Trust me, I definitely get it. No problem at all. Cause my hands shake a lot, and I work a lot slower with using my fingers, and it's more painful. Cause I have a pinched nerve, so like I'll give you an example. So like even this lid is hard for me to like hold this like this. So I definitely can't do anything smaller than that lid. Trying to wrap these around these small pegs, definitely not a go. And when I'm making blankets, I typically don't like this step, trying to push down all the stitches. Hey, Alicia, how are you? Good. That's good. You're doing good too. I'm doing good. I'm just trying to knock out some projects. I thought at least by now I have a brim. Maybe in about 30 more minutes. I don't know. Almost. I'll give it about 30 more minutes. Then I'm gonna close that brim up. She might get it in 15. I'll check it in 15. Where is this wrapped up at? Around the bottom? I bet. And I got some more looms in yesterday, y'all. As if I needed any more. This probably make about 30. I need to make a list of videos I need to do of requested videos. And hopefully I get it done this week. Who keeps calling me? Ah, that's spam. No spam, no. It's Sunday. Sunday, Sunday, Sunday. Need a break from that. Excuse me. Yeah, need a break. If you know it, you know, you know. I'm the most random person. Well, my youngest son really is. I'm the most second. I'm the second randomest person in the house. And I know y'all know I have on like a nail set on one hand and a nail set on the. I mean, no nail set on the other. So what happened was a couple of days ago, well, earlier this week, I went to Dollar Tree before it snowed, and I was like, okay, I'm gonna do my nails for like my videos and for live. And I went to, I said I want the sticker things, and I went to Dollar Tree to get them. Well, my husband took me to Dollar Tree to get them. And so when I opened up the pack, they only give you enough for 6 fingers on one hand. Six nails on the other hand, and then just in case your thumb is like really big. And so I was like, it's really not all of them fit. So I kind of felt some way about that. So I was like, well, I'm just gonna leave it on my hand because I want to see how long they actually last. And so they've been on there for about 3 or 4 days, and this is like the longest, um, whatever has like paint, nails, whatever. This is the longest something has stayed on my hand with me doing a lot of other stuff. So I'm like, yeah. So I'm gonna graduate and go to Dollar General or Family Dollar the next time to get them, and they should have more than just 6 try-ons for each hand. So I'm gonna go in there next time, and they should have more better options. This option was okay, but like I found like 3 or 4 options that were okay, but I wasn't really crazy about them. So the more they cost, the better their design should be. So we'll see how that rolls. And they only been peeling up a little bit, like over here on this side, it's peeled up a little bit, but for the most part, and I didn't get this one on there all the way, so it's kind of like on the top of my cuticle, and so that's been kind of peeling just because of that reason. But for the most part, they've been hanging on pretty good, so that's not too bad. So I'm gonna buy some more. Like they're better than even press-ons. I could never keep press-ons either. I think they're supposed to last between a week or two. I don't know why I keep winding it up on the bottom. My bad. On the bottom now. I told you once I do a habit, or once I do something, it starts to form a habit. Once I do it once. No, no, no. I'm sorry to hear that. What are you struggling with? Um, of the wrapping tool or off the loom. That one that's kind of like a trial and error type thing. You got to get in the groove. If you're just talking about it popping up, that's actually normal. You just got to get in the groove. And sometimes, like, I'll show you in just a second. I'm gonna show you how to do it. That'll help you out. So when I'm not on live, I normally put my hands and hold my hands in certain areas to keep it from coming off while I'm wrapping. Because I know the stitches are tight when if you're trying to knit it off and hold it in place. But I'll show you in just a second. I'm using red heart. I use a lot of different kinds of yarn. It depends on what I'm doing with it. So right now I'm just making a, um a lock slouchy, a dreadlock slouchy. So I'm just using red heart yarn. And unless you're talking about the thickness, this is number 4. It also depends on if you have a wide gauge or a small gauge loom. I'll show you a wide gauge real quick, and that'll help you kind of understand what I meant. Let's see, I got a couple sitting right here. And put that back and put that back where it belongs. All right, so if you notice, I'm gonna use this one. This one I meant to pick up. So you notice this is my finger can almost fit. Well, if I turn it sideways, it can fit through there. Awesome. And if I turn it sideways like this, it won't fit through there too. So this one is a wide gauge and this one is small gauge. But KB will also tell you they have wide gauges, but their wide gauge would never be as wide as this. I've come to find them not as wide as this. But I said that I brought this out to say that if you're using this loom, you can just use like one strand of the 4-way yarn. But if you're using this one, you'll have to double up number 4 yarn. And so I'm gonna push these down. I'll show you how I'll wrap to if I'm trying to like really get it done and focus and stuff. I'll hold my hands in certain areas to keep it from popping back off again. So what I typically do, I'm trying to figure out how I'm gonna hold this thing right here. All right, so I'm gonna hold it up, and I accidentally missed a stitch on the last round, so I need to knit that off first before I move on. I don't even know how I did that, but okay. So I'm gonna hold this pin as close as I can to the loom. And so once I wrap, let's say I'm comfortable with wrapping about 10 stitches. And you don't have to count it, you just kind of have an idea. So once I make that wrap of those 10 stitches, I'm going to kind of keep my hand on the back, keep my thumb on the back of this. That way I can still hold this yarn on this hand while I still wrap. So it's pressed in behind here and it's not gonna move. So that way, see, I just dropped it. Continue wrapping, And each time I move to a different area after I'm comfortable with the wrapping, I'm gonna do it like this, move my hand right here, hold my thumb in behind, and just keep wrapping. So just give it like a pressure point to keep it from um, popping off. But with me, I think I like the game of it possibly popping off sometimes, and because I like rapping fast, so I'm trying to like it's kind of like giving my mind a little endorphins or whatever. I can't think of the word right now. It's giving it some excitement, and so I just like to some most of the time just you know try to beat the jump as much as possible. And so it kind of helps it a little bit. The more I get used to it, the less it jump off. Like when I started live, because I had to get into the groove, it jumped off every other row in the beginning. And then when you wrap that last peg, just make sure to knit it off before you start to knit off on your other stitches. And this is knitting off, what's called knitting off. No problem at all. About 10 years, a little over 10 years. It really picked up for me during when COVID happened. I went all in in 2020. Once you know about 3 stitches, I don't consider you you a beginner anymore. Like it's once you figure out what's going on, it's like, oh wow, like that's it. You just gotta after that you gotta figure out how to manipulate things a little bit. Yes, yes, I do, P. Brady. This one is currently like somebody. I'm making this for someone now. They want like a dread slouchy. We almost meeting at the middle, or did we meet at the middle? Okay, so I'm going to give it because it's not to me. I'm not forcing it to touch. So I'm gonna give it about 3 more rows, and then I'm gonna pull it up to make it into the brim part. So I'm just gonna do about 3. I'm trying to remember, make sure I don't go over 3. And I did say about 30 more minutes, so it should be in about 30 more minutes. I'll be able to change colors. See how they jumped off from me? Because I started doing other stuff. I've gotten mad at mine too. I'm like, you go in the corner for right now because I'm sick of this. I'm not in the mood today. Time out. And then I switch over to crocheting when I put it in time out. Come on, and start back doing what I was doing. Okay. I hope it works. 'Cause trust me, I get it. Cause usually when that happens to me, I'm normally on like my really big loom the loom that's 198 pegs, and so and while you wrapping that one, if you let it go, it's gonna you're gonna lose about 50, 70 stitches all at one time because it's gonna jump off in like 15 seconds and probably less time than that. It's hard to catch it. Yes, I'm working on the hat. It's gonna be it's a dread, it's slouchy with the open top. They wanted the open top. They're gonna make me fix myself one. Because I don't like having to put all my locks in my beanie. So it'll help out a lot. Because I'm pretty sure if you put them all in your beanie, it's going to bake your head. No wrapping. No wrapping. Okay, that was one row. The more you get used to it, you'll be just as good. And this is one of my favorite looms to work on too, a round one. It just it's not so complex as others. I just like the fact that I could just do all each stitch and not to have to do anything really extra to like to keep it from curling up. Cause I'm about to fix the curl in just a second. There's the train. Seems like at night I hear him almost every other hour, and I'm usually on here for about 3 hours. And these, if you buy KB looms, the round looms, the pegs do come out. So, cause they sent me some replacement pegs. I just wanted to point that out. But they're you can just pop them back in. So if you don't lose them in the floor, you can just pop them back in. Cause I have a loom now, the baby booty loom, and the pegs come out of there, and I just push it back in, and it's been fine. I've had it for like 2 or 3 years now. The pegs come out, and I just snap them back in, and it doesn't happen often. It's only when I'm using like a really tight stitch. It depends on. if you have a wide gauge or a small gauge loom, Destiny. If you have the wide gauge one, it's gonna look spacey. So you'll have to double up your yarn for wider gauge looms. With the smaller ones, the stitches are be more tighter. Yes, I got that one. That's the one I was talking about with the 198 pegs. Yeah, I use that one too. I try to mostly make baby blankets on there. I made like maybe four, or I'll just say four adult blankets since 2020. I only do like one a year because it's a lot of work. But this year I want to do two, but it's not. Well, I take that back. I'm gonna do one on net loom, and then I'm gonna do the 10 stitch um, blanket because I want to make blankets for my boys this year, and I wanted it to be for Christmas. So I have absolutely have to finish those. Yes, I have a video, but all you really have to do is take. Let's say you got one skein of yarn. I'm gonna use this one as an example. Let's say you got one skein of yarn and you don't want to go buy a second skein for to just to get two strands. You can either cake half of this and do two strands, or you can take the end of the yarn and put them together and thread them through a pin or a straw or something, or use your hands and wrap them around your loom, just using two strands. um Ver- Verdi salsa. Verde salsa. Salsa. Isn't it like the really hot one? Oh, no problem at all, Disney. Look. I like food as compensation. I like eating food. Yeah, that's about the only thing I could eat now. Back in the day, I could eat all that spicy stuff. But yes, I like food. I think this is the third row, and then I'm gonna close the brim up. For about 10 years, a little over 10 years. It started off as a me wanting to like make hats for my family, and then I wanted to make scarves the next year, and it kind of just and then I quit because I kept breaking pegs, and then I started back in 2020 um, because a company sent me some looms, and I was like, yeah, buddy. And then I figured out how to avoid breaking pegs so many times. Yes, trust me, I got you, Dapper. I appreciate you a lot. I appreciate that. It's nice to have some company and some fun company at that. So loom knitting is easier on your hands than to me, than the knitting needles and crocheting. But it's really only that way if you do e-stitching in like 90% of your projects, because the other stitches you'll have to use, you will have to do those with your hands. And with the e-stitch you can wrap with the pen, then knit off. So, and if you do your projects a certain way, you wouldn't have to worry about it curling up either. So I know that's really what the issue is typically with e-stitch slash um, stockinette stitch or whatever. So you can do certain things to keep your projects from curling up. You just have to take a few extra steps than you would if you use a mixture of different stitches. So now, this is not really an extra step to me, but now I'm going to make my brim. And so to figure out where the beginning starts, which you can kind of tell with what's going on right here, but to make sure that I'm working at the beginning stitch, this is my slip knot right here. Y'all might not be able to see it because it's black, but that's the tail to it. So since this is my slip knot, and I remember putting my slip knot on the first peg, so I'm going to put that on my first peg after I push all these stitches down. Look, you can, you about do though. All right, see, let's. It's gonna be, that's a little tight. Let me see if I can loosen up this stitch. That I'm at this slip knot real quick. So I know that's tight. To loosen up just a little bit. I don't want to break the yarn. All right, put it over here, and then you're gonna go. You can tuck this in too. So you want to go to the next open space, which I think is right here. So pull that up. Come on. Are you acting like I'm doing more than what I'm doing? Yes, and I do talk to my projects. So I talk to my hands. I talk to my projects. My hands are shaking. I'm like, you got the job. Just do the job. I gave you a job to do. It's not that hard. Just do it. Right. That's okay. It's kind of like me talking myself through it, and it's supposed to be calming me down. So I think it kind of calms me down, although I'm fussing at myself at the same time. Exactly. They don't understand unless you have a conversation. Then I'll go to singing. I'll go to singing. I'm like, oh, this is getting on my nerves. A whole song. Some days I'm like, I should record that. Me and my husband kind of got into it, which I was really into with him and me. So I said out loud, I was working on a project. I was like, the enemy is like, I don't accept this. This is not up to my standards. And then he's like, yeah, you know you're gonna redo it. And I was just like, why did you say that? Why did you like make it? Why didn't you confirm that that's what I was gonna do? And then I got even more annoyed because I kept trying to move on, and I'm like, it doesn't look right. In my head, I'm like, it doesn't look right. That doesn't look right. It doesn't look like it belongs. So then I had to redo it. I hate redoing and starting stuff over, y'all. Especially when I'm ready to be done. I'm just like, that wasn't aesthetically pleasing to me. Like with this, I don't really like that the ladder effect that goes on with this. But when it's for a family, I don't really, you know, I'm not gonna be all up in arms about it. 'Cause the head is still like I took my time and I made it. But I'm gonna have to learn how to. I gotta remember how to fix that. And normally, knowing what thank you, Blackpink. Exactly, Destiny. Exactly, and I think that's what it was like. I was having a conversation out loud with the project, and he was like, "Yep," he agreed, and that made me mad. I'm like, "How dare you agree with me?" Like, how rude and disrespectful to agree with me, especially on something that I'm dreading to do. And I have gotten these stitches off, even when finding where the beginning stitch goes. I still got these off by like one or two stitches, and I have to go back and I'm just like, where do I need to put a stitch at? Because at this point I'm just making some up. So I'm like, I just knew this was all right, so I just go and put one somewhere, make one work, so I don't have to go back and redo the whole thing. All right, let's see. See, this one, this is off. So what I'm gonna do is I'm not gonna start over. I'm just gonna put this one right here. Let's see. I'm just gonna put one of these ladder stitches on the next to last one, and put this one over here. Cause I'm not gonna redo that. It'll be alright. Cause I'm not gonna go back. Nope. Cause I don't even see where it's messed up at. I don't even understand. Excuse me. I'm trying to see. Maybe I'm tripping. Cause it was in the right spot, and it could be that this stitch is so tight. Yeah, it's in the right spot. Let me see. It's hard to see with this black. Okay, let's pull this down again. I think it's supposed to go right here, but that's tight, so I'm just gonna use the one I was gonna use at first. All right, so I've gotten them all on there, and I accidentally got the yarn stuck in here. That's snotty. Now I gotta get this back out of here. I don't even know how I did that. That normally doesn't happen. All right, get out. I was so tickled. You gonna tell? All right. Shouldn't take me that long to get it back on there. Come on. Yes, exactly. This is exactly what it's doing. Talking noise. Oh darn. Awesome. No problem, Destiny. Stay on there. This is black. This is black. All right. Now let's turn the wheel back and knit this off. And then this off is gonna be kind of tight too. I see that yarn kind of sticking out. Let's pull that through there. Awesome, Lisa. No problem. That's why I love helping y'all. It's like no issue for me. If you have like a ton of questions, it's like go ahead. I appreciate you too, Dapper. You definitely give me company, good energy, fun company. So I appreciate you. These stitches are tight. It's gonna bother me right now. Let me see if I can pull it from this side. This is getting on my nerves. Stay down, stitches. Ooh, if I would have been saying something else, that sounds so bad. I'm just trying to make it because these stitches are when you're knitting off like a brim, the stitches are tight. I'm just trying to get past this part as quickly as I can. All right, so I'm getting ready to change colors, and I'm gonna cut it just long enough so I can play around with it once I get back to that point. And I'm gonna thread the blue yarn into this pin. Is that the wrong? Nope, that's the wrong end. So this is just gonna be random colors, like random stripes. I don't really want to count the stripes. I just want to be like, oh yeah, that works for me. Right. And the only issue I have with them is that the projects take longer because of using smaller yarn. That's like my thing. I kind of lose. I have to. That's why I have to use variegated yarn. Cause doing like projects like this where I have to do solid colors and color changing, it's difficult for me to like focus. But as far as like the look, it's yeah, I love the look. The process is a little. I'm trying to bar yarn out of here before. Let's put that back right there. The train said I spoke it up. I spoke it up. Okay, anytime. Unless you're doing like you don't care with how it flows. Just create a whole another slip knot and start on your beginning peg and just start back wrapping the way you were. I'm sorry, y'all. I'm so sorry. I was trying to make sure I was on the right peg. All right. I know YouTube picks up all the noises, so YouTube picks up on all the noises. So I just be like, every time I make a really loud bang, I'm like, I gotta apologize. I know, cause I watched one of my live replays, and it was um, the cord was the yarn was rubbing up against my stand, my ring light stand, and you can just hear it just scraping on by. And I was like, oh, they were there. I don't know if they enjoyed that or not. But you can hear a whole lot of rub, and I'm like, nah, let's do a different setup next time. Okay, I think that's where I started. So I'm knitting off where I ended, where I should have ended. This one shouldn't have been wrapped, of course. Um, I don't know. I know I don't have a mic boom thing though. I've thought about buying one because I have a mic. Um, I have a mic for podcasts that I actually haven't used yet, and I've had the mic for a year or so now. And so I've been saying I'm gonna use it, but I ain't used it. That was my shameful way of telling you, yes, I have a mic but no boom thing. And no pop filter. I got the mic. I need the filter things. So you saying I need to do a little bit ASMR? Cause look, I'll do it. It probably won't be on this channel, but I'll do it. I've had the mic for about over a year. It's wild. I ain't. Are you wanting me to show it to you? It's supposed to have noise canceling on it too. These stitches are not as bad as the other stitches because I'm still working on like stitches from the brim. Oh, oh, okay, gotcha. Okay, I got you now. That probably may mean I'm gonna have to figure out my setup first. I don't even know how. You don't like ASMR? I'm not a big fan of ASMR either. But I have to figure out my setup first before cause I pulled it out one day and it looks like it only goes into the computer, and I was so disappointed because I'm just like, gosh. And it doesn't look like it Bluetooth or anything. So I'm gonna have to figure out how to use it. I forgot to announce that my hour time, but I'm getting off at 6:30, and it's like 5:49 my time, so that's about 40 minutes. I meant to say it at 5:30. And there will be a space from where you change the colors, but you can once you tie that knot in, it'll be fine. Thank you, Lisa. Uh, it's a form of knitting. It's called loom knitting. I don't know why that one didn't want to go over. And crazy thing is, I probably won't see this loom until Wednesday. Until I finish this hoodie, this got to be put down for a minute. And I got a doll to finish, and then I gotta finish this. I need to move it over there. I have to pull the yarn out of here because the skein is flat and it's gonna make it tight. Yes, I'm making a head. It's an extra large for some dreadlocks. and then they want the end of it, well, the top of it open, so that they can hang their hair out. Usually, well, I don't really like making the XLs. The XLs will take me about 6 hours. The like more of like a an adult normal size would be more like 3, and I lose attention, so that's more so why it's just like the my attention span is short, so it just takes me even longer to make. Cause I'm just like, oh my god, this is taking forever. So this is 80 pigs, and I think a normal adult one would be like 70, 70 something. I can't remember right now. Um, this one is, I can't even say Joanne's no more. This is knitting board slash KB, and you can get them from Amazon, or I also got them tagged here on YouTube, but you can get them from Amazon and knittingboard.com, the company's website. I also want to point out to y'all, because I'm not getting like making anything off of the suggestions I'm making, but unless it's tagged in the live. But I just want to point out that if you have any other looms, um, both. And the reason why I say it goes 50-50 because most of the time, the looming, I am really merely doing it just out of hobby, And if somebody, like, if I make something on live, they're like, "Ooh, I want that," or they'll reach out, but they rarely reach out to me for loom knitting customs. So most of my lives, I'm on live for like 3 hours at a time. Those are like hobby projects. But outside of live, I crochet, and most of those are custom projects. Well, that's why I say it's 50-50. Like, this is a custom, but I rarely get custom loom projects. So I'm trying to like get mostly everything to be like social media based. Like, I'm not doing customs anymore and all that stuff. I really just want to make videos and all that stuff. So the business side of it's just a little bit more complex than I'd like. It depends on what you're getting. So this one I have to make this one about 11 inches tall, if I'm not, either 10 or 11 inches tall. And then I have to, like, I'm gonna crochet the opening. I'm not gonna close it all the way. I'm gonna crochet it so it's kind of stay open. So for this one, I'm thinking about charging like 45, but it just depends on what you're asking for. So if it's like more like a simple one, a basic one, I really charge like between 50 or 20. So it's not like, I'm doing most of my stuff for content, so I'm just not really big into like the business side of it. Yet I just did some merch, Dapper. Um, and it should be, it may be on this live. It tagged in products, I can't remember, but I literally just did merch the other day, And right now I'm starting off with I've had this crochet there in the works for a long time, and so YouTube doesn't necessarily partner with Amazon, so I had to like switch it over to merch for YouTube. So yeah, I've been hanging on to it for a minute. Thank you, Iona. Iona, I think it's Iona. Is that a L or a I? I think it's a I. I get it confused sometimes, only because of when you may accidentally spell it with a lowercase letter in the beginning. It's a lowercase letter. You been tickling me. No, it's not another cute hat. But that person is they're talking to me. They are discussing with me about another project that they want me to start. And it is gonna be a cute dog hat. Oh, okay, Joe. Oh, awesome. Okay, thank you, Joanna. Thank you. It's the overthinker in me, y'all. I have that really bad. I will overthink anything, like just the letter of your name. I overthought it, but that's it's just who I am for right now. Anyway, I just overthink right now. I am tickled, dapper. I sometimes I just don't make the designs. I just follow the people. I just follow what the people want. Y'all got about 30 more minutes left. But he tickled me and I almost fell out when he said, I'm thinking about another project. I'm gonna get with you. I was like, oh God, please don't make it hard. You already be wanting me to put these symbols on here and I'm just like, that's a lot of work. Cause I had to figure out how to get them symbols on there. And if he's talking about something bigger, that means I need to, I'm gonna have to go back and re-examine how big, you know, how to change up the pattern based on the size. I don't even know how much blue I wanted to do. I'm just going. Let me see. It's like one, two, three, four blue. Let's see if I go seven. Just random. Okay, Lisa. Thank you so much for hanging out with me. I appreciate you. And that's what I think it is. And I'm scared to ask. I haven't even asked him. I'm staying away from it. He haven't talked to me about it in about a week or so, and I'm avoiding asking him what the project is because I know with him it's gonna be like, you know, it's gonna be wild. Bye. I hope to see you again, and I hope you have a good rest of your day. Oh, thank you, Joanna. now the rest of the head shouldn't take me as long to get done. So if y'all notice, I've been working on this for about 2.5 hours. And so I know I'm gonna have to get off live in about 30 minutes. But I want to point out that technically this right here is for this is if I wouldn't have had to follow this brim up, this would have been like 4 hours of work. And then I got that. So I can get about three, let's see, I say about 5 more inches done in 3 more hours. So that kind of give y'all an idea of how long I say, you know, it takes me to work on here. So by the end of live, I've been working on. I would technically say 2.5 hours, because I'm slower on live. But um, yeah, so this would take me probably about 6 hours to do, depending on how much thinking I'm doing about the color change and all that stuff, and trying to make it look sound and put together. I really think he's going for blanket, and I hope he's not going for the price that I practically gave his sister for the previous blanket, and I only charged as that because I had the blanket for like 3 years. It had just been put away, and she was like, "You have any blankets? I really want them for my daughter who is going through surgery." So that's another reason why I discounted it, because she kind of wanted it. I don't know why I'm so hungry. So I know what I'm doing when I get in the house. I'm going for food. Okay, Joanna, I hope you have a good rest, because that is pretty late. I was about to say good rest of your night, but it is morning. Thank you so much for hanging out with me. I appreciate you. Hope to see you next time. Bye. That would be wild, and I wouldn't be shocked at the same time. So it would blow my mind, but not shock me at this. I don't know. I don't really know how I would take it. Dapper. Hi Sheila, how are you? When I see it, I'll be like, not my hands, but then I'll be not surprised like that they did it. I just be surprised that they used my hands. Maybe that's what it is. But this a bit that'll be cool. Now I'm interested. I'm intrigued because now my mind is going. It's like, oh, because they could just make a video now. They could just make a video of loom knitting and just be done with it. You could just say AI produce me a loom knitting tutorial video. That's wild. Yes, this is number 4 yarn. I am really curious now because the wild thing about it is they're using celebrities and they're making these music videos. They're driving me nuts because I can tell when they're AI. So I don't. It's annoying. But if they can do that, have them um do a whole scene, they could do the same thing with arts and crafts. They really could if they really wanted to. That is wild. Now I'm gonna be thinking about that all night. Then I'm gonna do some research to see if I can get it done. I think I may stop it right here. I try to think about a lot of stuff when I'm making things. So I'm a person because I'm a big science geek. I'm gonna also think about my projects in the form of is it gonna be too hot per se when the sun is out. So the black yarn is gonna be hotter in relation to the blue yarn. So it's like with this project, do I want to use mostly blue because I don't want the person to get too hot, or use mostly black so it can draw in the heat and since they should be wearing it when it's cooler, you know. And then they're both dark, so but the still the black is gonna be a little bit hotter than the blue will. So I think about all that. I'm just like I try to think about how to place colors, dark colors and light colors, because I'm just like, if I use too much of this dark color, it's gonna be hot. It's already hot. It's gonna be even hotter. Right. Exactly. Cause that's my favorite color. So let me see. Maybe I'll do like a gradient kind of thing. Let's see. I'm gonna go ahead and cut this loose because I think that'll be this, and go ahead and work in some black. When I was a kid, it was because of like I just felt more. Let me see. How do I say it? It's more like a peace and serene color. That's what I want to say. And so yeah. So every time I see it, no matter how dark, how light, whatever, it's just like it just always gives me that happy feeling. So and then like these days green does too, but not as much as blue because I've always liked blue that way. Needle. Where I do with the needle. Oh. Y'all got about 15 more minutes, and I'm thinking about food. Now, I don't need to be doing a whole lot of color change because I gotta hide this yarn. Ain't nobody else gonna hide it for me. So I need to slow down with this color change. Ooh, that sounds good. Oddly, I really like Sonic, but I like Sonic because they put a lot of onions and stuff. And I should not be eating that much onions, but it be good. It don't seem like they load it up as much as they used to, but their food and the hit of onion just reminds you of childhood. And then I like that their shakes last a really long time. Because it takes a while for them to melt, and they're already thick when you get them. Now, why am I advertising Sonic though? I'm thinking about getting Sonic. Why am I advertising it? And I don't need to make myself any more hungry than I am now. Zephyr, you be tickling me. I am tickled. Like if I could have yelled, I had to hold that one in. That's too funny. What you said? Why you don't do it anymore, Superman? I keep trying to get my boys to do it, but they're just not. They're not interested. I'm giving up on that. I'd be like, nobody will have to know that you made them. Nobody will know. You can just make them, and I'll say I made them. I just need the inventory. I will never tell anybody you made them. If I can just get some help. Oh, okay. I get it. I definitely get it now. I started crocheting 2.5 years ago, and I've been loom knitting for over 10 years. The reason why I'm still hanging on to looms is because there's not a whole lot of audience per se for looms, and so it's tied to like my social media. And like when I post like crochet or other stuff, nobody's interested until I post loom knitting, and I'm just like, okay, I think that's just a sign I need to stay in this lane, and I can still swerve into other lanes too when I get ready to. But yes, I do a lot of crocheting in my spare time, especially ever since June or July of last year. I've been crocheting like, let's say, 75% of the time in my spare time. But yeah, it's definitely more convenient. Yeah, so I've had to hold on to loom knitting, and I'm just like, okay, well, if I'm gonna hold on to it, I gotta get back into making plushies, because I'm gonna get really bored by just um, making. Because most of the projects on the looms, I'm just mostly making stuff that you can wear. And the thing that I love the most about crocheting is the plushies. So if I can just kind of bring that over this way, that would help me some. Because I just have a I have a childlike mind often, and so it just helps to have to do something kiddie, often, than always having to just make clothing or something. It's kind of like getting that extra dopamine push. And this, what is wild. Okay, so before I started loom knitting, I was actually needle knitting, and so I stated that because it took me 5 years to learn to crochet, because I started needle knitting first, and I don't know, it just would not click. It wouldn't make any sense or anything. So it took me about 5 years. I wasn't very consistent or anything, and I was just stuck on the foundation chain, and that's it. But when I decided that I really wanted to make plushies, like really bad, I learned how to crochet starting with the magic ring. And then once I figured out how to crochet starting with the magic ring, the foundation chain made so much sense. And I don't get or understand why. But ever since then, making plushies, I switched in between plushies and like other things, but I mostly make plushies because they're the things that smile back at you once you finish. It's interesting. I think now I'm getting ready to start back doing it this year, but I'm trying to get my mind like to understand the process, because I want to branch out more than what I was doing. Excuse me, I was making like hats and scarves, and that's it. So I want to like branch out. And no, I take that back. I was not making hats, because that's why I started loom knitting. But I was making scarves on the needles, and I lost my train of thought. Oh yeah, I think I was trying to say that I was trying to learn like a lot of different things, and so I don't know. I just lost that train of thought like completely. Like it's gone. How about stated? I got ADHD. Yeah. So let me just throw that back out there again, because that train of thought is gone, and I can't do everything to recall it, because if I do, it just create anxiety about it'll create anxiety about what else have I forgotten today that I can't remember, and was it important? So it's just best for me to just let it float away. All right, so see. Uh, do I want this to be a short strip or a long strip? See, I only did 2 rows. Let's do a third one. Thank you. Yes, it's a beanie. It's someone wanted me to. It's for a lock, so that's why it's like extra big. But they wanted a long yeah, they wanted a slouchy beanie and with the top part open, so that's what I'm working on. I got about 5 more minutes, y'all. I'm thinking about making this a permanent day, but for right now, I will be back. Definitely, I should probably shouldn't say definitely, but I should be back next Saturday at 8 p.m. Central. Now usually stay on live for like 3 hours, depending on how the day goes. Most of the time it's 3 hours, and so I'm hoping that you guys would come back on next Saturday at 8 p.m. Central. And I'm thinking about doing it Sunday. I just haven't decided on it yet. Maybe like around 2 o'clock. And, no, I'll probably stick to 3:30 because that'll be the time I I've kind of unwound when I got out of church. I'll be able to put my foot up for a little bit before I go live. Okay, Superman, I appreciate that. I need to get organized this week. I think that's a goal. I need to clean up, and I've been saying I was gonna sweep for weeks, and I just run in here, I run right back out, and it's been cold, so I haven't really wanted to spend a whole lot of time in my shed. But I definitely have to sweep. I have to get some organize a few things and get them out of here. I need to fix some stuff. I need to clean some stuff off and make some upgrades. Thank you, Cast Forever. It's mostly really just about wrapping the pegs in the counterclock direction. Thank you. I appreciate that. And there it goes, wrapping up again. Awesome. I crochet too. But I've been crocheting, loom knitting a lot longer than I've been crocheting. I've been crocheting for about 2.5 years. I love it, to say the least. My favorite thing to make is plushies. I don't know why I'm holding this thing up, but it'll work. If that's what my mind wants to do right now, it's just gonna have to work. Uh oh. Don't you dare. Well, I hope you guys have had an awesome time because it's about my time. Just a hollowed out pen, repurposed. You can use a straw too. Once I finish this row, I'm gonna get off, y'all, cause yesterday I pushed it a little bit too long, and when I went in the house, cause it was cold outside, my neck was hurting, so I have arthritis in my neck, so I have to like not push way past the time. Cause the darker it gets, the colder it gets outside. Yes, with a pen. Yep, it makes the process so much quicker because I have arthritis in my hands and overactive wrist and a pinched nerve, so it makes it really difficult to like try and wrap the yarn around the peg for me. So I need that pen. I'll show y'all the other ones real quick before I get off. There's an actual looming pen out there by a boy, but I don't necessarily feel like it's worth buying. But you know everybody's different. Me personally, I don't think it's worth it. And then another company sent me this, but I like this one the most because whether it's wide gauge or small gauge, this is gonna go. The pen is gonna go in between the pegs easier. Awesome, Superman. Um, that's that's kind of hard to say because with knitting the e-stitch is easier on my hands per se, and so I enjoy it for that part. But for crochet, it's easier for me to pick up on designs because of the tool you're using. So as far as like progression, it's crochet hands down. But when knitting takes a little bit longer to learn to like get used to and do certain things. And crocheting, I learned it 2 years ago. 2.5 years ago. I'm making plushies. I'm I'm freehanding plushies. I've made a cartoon pit bull before. I've made I'm making like tons of bucket hats. Like people love, but still loving bucket hats and everything. So I've made like twice as many different things as I've made loom knitting. Like I've made a few loom knitted plushies, but most of the time I'm making like head scarves and blankets and stuff. But like I did, Dapper, I did. I did. Okay, I got to get off of here. So I need to state this really quickly. Okay, this is the pen for loom knitting. This is an official loom knitting pen. This is a pen a company sent me, and then it's this pen, and I like this one the most because it's kind of like adjustable. If I take if I take the end off of here, I can use 5 or 6 or 7 weight yarn, and if I put the tip on, I can do 2, 3, or 4, and then it goes in between the pegs easier. Like this one doesn't really go in between; it's a little jumping, and then this one does too. So it's not. go through there as much as those do. So it's not comfortable. And this one is more smooth. See, it goes down further. With wide gauge loom, I can use this on the wide gauge loom too. It'll go further down in between. So there's that. Awesome. But yeah, y'all gotta go. I gotta go, gotta go, gotta go. I hope y'all have a good evening, and I hope to see you guys on next Saturday. And yeah, have a good one, y'all. Peace out.